Welcome everyone. So it feels a little bit more like spring today, gets us thinking about seeds and cuttings and things like that. So today's video, I'm going to show you what you can use for like a homemade propagation station, if you like. Super cheap, things that you'll already have hanging around the house, right? If you're anything like me. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Now, some things online certainly can be daunting, right, when it comes to propagation, having the right setup, having it under heat, having it in a greenhouse and all that sort of good stuff. And certainly if you're anything like me, it can put you off growing it. But I'm here to sort of say you can do it all with things that you've got lying around the house, right? Anybody can do it. Anyone can get in the garden. Anyone can grow anything, right, to a degree. So let me show you some of the household things that I use, and they work really well. Really well, in fact. So let me go grab them and let's talk about them. Let me know down below, what do you grow your things in, right? If we're lucky enough to have great propagation stations, right, with propagators and heated in greenhouse, and that's great. But I'm sure some of us out there grow them in anything, right? So let me know down below, drop me a comment, let me know what you grow in, because it's all about getting those seeds in the compost, right? Right, let's crack on. So today's video, I'm just going to show you, I am going to do a series on propagation, and I will be using every single one of these methods. So be sure to click that subscribe button, notification bell, all that sort of good stuff. So number one, right? Number one is, you guessed it, the egg trays. Now these break down really well. So once you've actually got your seedlings up and going, you can actually just plant the whole thing into your pot or into your garden, depending on what kind of seeds you're putting in. I'll be doing a lot of tropical style seeds. So for my bigger seeds like ricinus and things like that, I won't be using this, but maybe my love lies bleeding will be going into here. And also I'm going to do some laventeria, which is a little bit of a controversial one when it comes to tropical style gardens. But I like to think it looks a lot like the hibiscus plant. So this is a really good choice. This is biodegradable. All you have to do though, make sure you take off any outer packaging that may not break down, so any plastics and things like that. So that is number one. Obviously, if you don't eat eggs, then this one's not for you. But anything like me, I tend to have loads of these knocking around. You can save them up as well throughout the year, and then they're perfect in the spring for getting your seeds going and then planting them out as is. No need to throw them away, get these straight in the garden and these will break down. So that is number one, really good choice. Number two, and I'm murdered for this, takeaway boxes. Now these are absolutely perfect, but the only thing you've got to bear in mind with these is they don't have drainage holes, right? So if you're not a very observant gardener, then I would highly recommend you definitely put some holes in these just for free draining. So if you give them a lot of water, they'll go through. If you're brave enough not to put holes in, then you've really got to make sure you keep an eye on the watering. What this does, and this is perfect with the lid, is that this will create its own atmosphere. So these seeds, depending on what you actually sow, will germinate much quicker. So this will really sort of act like one of the propagators that you'd buy online, right? And obviously takeaways aren't free, right? But we make decisions like that, and this is just a really good way of maximizing that decision. So the next time you say to your wife or your husband, should we have a takeaway? I'm giving you a good excuse to have a takeaway. Just bear these in mind. These are perfect. Now, what you can do, if you tend not to put holes in, these can sit on the radiators and then create some bottom heat. So bottom heat is really what gets the roots going in your seedlings and things like that. So if you don't put drainage holes in, then they can go in the house, sit on the radiator like that with the lid on. It will create its own atmosphere and you can get your seeds going in that. One thing you need to bear in mind though is once they have germinated, you need to take the lid off, and then you'll no longer use the lid, because what can happen in there is it can create mold and things like that because it has no airflow. Does that make sense? So that's another really good tip. Let's get on to number three. Now I'm almost certain number three everybody has, right? Everybody has in their home, and that is the milk bottle. Now I've never done this before, but I will be doing it this year. That is to cut the actual top off, but not all the way, so it acts as like a pivot point. So you have your seeds in the bottom, and then you can simply shut the lid, and again, it creates its own atmosphere. The advantage of using a milk bottle is you can open and close it, right? So as the season progresses and it gets a little bit warmer outside, you can take your seedlings, once they've germinated, of course, out into the garden. If it's a colder night, you can simply shut the lid on the milk bottle and they can stay out. So I think that's a really, really good choice. And not only that, it will give you quite a bit of room. So your bigger seedlings, so something like ricinus, like I'm going to be doing here in my garden, I might even put one in here. I know ricinus don't like the roots being disturbed too much, but I'm going to try one or two in a milk bottle. So that is definitely something 2026 I am going to do, I am going to use, and I think that's a really, really good choice. Number 4, I am hoping everybody has this in the home, and that is a toilet roll. Couple of different ways you can use this, right? One is if you make slight slits in the bottom and fold the bottom up, that's ideal for any kind of seed, right? Again, I'm going to do some tropical style plants. I'm going to use this quite heavily. I've stored quite a few of these up ready for spring. One really good plant to actually sow into these and not fold up the bottom is peas. So sweet pea, I think sweet peas look great in any style garden, right? But garden peas, they can also be used in these toilet rolls. Again, this is biodegradable, right? So this is a great thing to do with the kids as well, to be fair. Sweet peas in these, and they can draw on what they want, but no stickers because they won't break down. Does that make sense? So this is a really, really good one. And again, it can get planted into the garden as is. This will break down and add to your compost and your garden soil as well. So that is a really, really good one. Number 4, I'm hoping you have that in your house. Right, number 5, let's get on to number 5. Number 5, so with seedlings, it's all about creating their own atmosphere, right? And a great way to do that is just a zip tie bag. So if you sow your seeds or cuttings into pots, then you simply pop that over the top, cable tie that round, or you can just use a little bit of string, and that will create its own atmosphere. I tend to use that a lot in the autumn when it comes to my hardwood cuttings, and it works an absolute treat. Once you start seeing signs of new roots, then you can just simply take the bag off and give the seedling some airflow. But that's a really good tip, one I've used for many, many years. So yeah, that is number 5. I know not everyone has these zip tie bags, but you can use like a clear polythene bag. It works in exactly the same way. Just be mindful of airflow. So when it comes to cuttings at certain times of year, then they can get quite moldy, to be fair, whereas back end of the year it's not as humid, so therefore it tends to tolerate it much better, if that makes sense. So maybe it's more of an autumn thing than a spring thing, but definitely seeds, you can do that in spring. And the final one, number 6, yogurt pots, right? So I'm lucky enough, we have quite a lot in our house, so I just tend to save these up. Again, be mindful of the bases, so you will have to add some drainage holes, but I do quite a lot of growing in that, and it will save you quite a lot of money, because pots are quite expensive these days. So I do quite a lot of growing in small yogurt pots and things like that, but not biodegradable, so we won't be able to plant these out. But again, if you're looking at getting seeds going, you can put a plastic bag over it, or even as it gets a little bit warmer, just sow them directly into here and leave them on the windowsill, right, if you've got room. When talking about windowsills, just while we're on it, a friend of mine, Russ, who grows brugmansias, he sent me a photo of his windowsill, and he's got bananas in his windowsill, and it's literally touching the ceiling. So I don't feel too bad now about having my brugmansias in my windowsill and a few bits and bobs that I've got. So if you did enjoy it, then please give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help the channel out. Make sure you subscribe, because we're doing a bit of a series on sowing throughout spring, and it's going to be a good one. I'm excited to add stock to the garden, and I can't wait for it to burst into life. Until tomorrow, I'll see you in the garden. You take care.